What is going on, mi gente? Today's episode is really packed with awesomeness. We have House of the Dragon Season 2 news. We have a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms news. We have Aegon's Conquest news. So, a lot of awesomeness when it comes to Game of Thrones news. We will also be talking about the future projects that have us really excited, and as well as Reddit's Gone Wild. That might be something we will be talking as well. So, I would love to welcome you all. Bienvenidos, everyone, to Binging Dragons. Okay, now that we're here, what is going on, Marc? My good friend Marc here, House of Nettles. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the evening. Make sure y'all check me out on House of Nettles on all those other social media sites and
Drop
stuff.
it.
I enjoy y'all traffic, but then I enjoy y'all traffic here too more.
Drop it in there. Dude, there is first of all, yes, I'm happy obviously to have you here again. This is really what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for having House of Nettle, Marc Nettles in here every week, talking, geeking out about our favorite fantasy universe, the world that George R. Martin created, A Song of Ice and Fire, and Game of Thrones. Um, Dude, there is a lot to talk about. We kind of talked about it before the episode, and so I'm sure that we are very excited already about this. But have you seen most of the latest news? I'm sure you have seen quite a few.
Yeah, I've been on the social media sites. I see what they're picking up and putting down about potential new shows that are gonna start filming and shows in the potential future. I'm ready for them all.
That's right. That's right. So, for those of you that don't know, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is one of the prequel shows that was announced, I want to say, what do you think, like a year ago, maybe, or so?
Yeah, about a year ago, they teased us with it since we didn't have any shows last year. They're like, hey, we got to give the people something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was like right after House of the Dragon season one.
Mm.
Uh, and for those of you that don't know as well, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is based on the Hedge Knight, is it? Right?
Yeah, we pulling out our headshot books.
Yeah, you got it right there. I've got it over there, but you got it
Mine's a little
more.
closer.
Yeah, that's ready to go right there. Exactly. There you go. Can you bring it up a little bit? Ah, there you go. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I haven't read it myself. I am dying to finally get into it, but as you guys know already, I am currently on A Clash of Kings. I finally started it, dude. I forgot to tell you that.
Ooh,
I
that's
forgot to
good.
tell you that. And the prologue is not as good as the prologue of book one, A Game of Thrones, but it's
Yeah.
still really damn good. It had me in the feels for Stannis, because that's the first time we like get to be with Stannis in A Song of Ice and Fire. So
And I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I want to say the prologue to Clash of Kings is the longest chapter in A Song of Ice and Fire in the main series of books.
okay. So as I was reading it, I was like, this feels way longer than the prologue of a Game of Thrones. I don't know. I lost my I lost my
Wait, what was
train
that?
of
What is that
thought.
show called?
But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was pretty. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was really good. There's a lot of things happening. We're introduced to
Mm.
Melisandre, and we'll talk about this later. I had
Yeah.
forgotten to tell you about this. There's a Clash of Kings already. The first three episodes, or not three episodes, first three chapters in, and it's already really good. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that, guys, because we will most definitely be talking about a Clash of Kings down the road. Um, But yes, I haven't read everything in A Song of Ice and Fire. Just here and there, and a lot of videos from awesome people like Marc here that have through the years fed me with the awesomeness of A Song of Ice and Fire. Um,
Now I want to know: are you going to read the Night of the Seven Kingdoms before you watch? Because Duncan, if they do film it this summer, like they said they are, there's not too much CGI, so it could be out next year. That's a potentially. Would you just go into it kind of blind? Because you probably know some of the story if you do consume all that content.
so I think I will. I think
Mm,
I will try to read it. I feel like I've got a good um head start right now
yeah.
because I should be done with the main series by then. And yes, you're right. I'm pretty sure they will be dropping Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year. Like you said, there shouldn't be a whole bunch of CGI. Again, I haven't read the books, but I've read parts of it, and it sounds more. It feels more grounded in terms of like deep lore and all of that. Not a lot of magic and stuff. It's more, awesome battles, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a, especially it's divided up into three short stories, and it's definitely a more small, intimate story. Everything taking place in just one place, but I mean, it tells a complete story. So I can't wait to see it adapted. And it's not going to be really, there's not going to be too many large battles, but I can see them definitely. Probably we'll probably get some flashbacks. We'll probably get some things to explain the relationships between characters like the two princes that we will be meeting in that. It's gonna be and for anybody that hasn't read the book or heard anything about it, we're gonna get plenty of Targaryens. We love our dragon people. There's gonna be plenty of them in what the Game of Thrones and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Hedge Knight. That's a long title. They got to shorten it one day.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I can't wait to watch it. The it's just such an intimate story. Like you can really, it's not a large entry point to get into. Even if you wanted to read the Night of the Seven Kingdom books, like you don't need the main series. You can just read that, and you'll be just fine. They'll say some people's names. Maybe you won't know them. Most likely you will. They got a Dondarrion in there. They got a Baratheon in there. Lannister.
Oh
People
wow.
know the names. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Uh so is that where the whole Blackfire rebellion comes up and whatnot? Or no?
That's actually a really good story because when our man Gurm wrote the Hedge Knight, I don't believe he had anything for the Blackfires at all until the next one, which will be the Sworn Sword, which will most likely be season 2 of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Then he had the added all the Blackfire things and kind of shoehorn it in. So when you read that the first one, there's no Blackfire mention at all until the second one, and then you kind of gotta fill the gaps in your head a little bit.
Oh, okay. So now that you mentioned that, do you think they'll be doing like a season for each novella?
Yeah, so right now there's only three of those novellas, and the way you said novellas is way cooler than me. So I can see each one's going to be about a season. Of course, the especially the second novella, I think it's the best one, but I don't know how you'll probably get anything past 5 hour episodes, and that's pushing it. Probably have to do a lot of flashbacks to even get that. But definitely that third one is meaty enough, and you do get a small spoiler. There will be some Blackfires in it.
Okay, yeah. I'm really excited for that because out there on social media, on the TikToks of the world, there's a lot of people that love the Blackfires and love the whole thing of the Blackfire rebellions is always the few things that I've listened to. It sounds really interesting because it all comes down. Aren't they like descendants of Targaryens? Or are they like bastards
Yes,
or something like that?
some people like to call them bastards, but
Listen,
I'm
we can go by, but we can go by another name. We can go by another name.
I myself, I support the Black Dragons. I support their cause. If it wasn't so far away, I even have a House Blackfire banner hanging on my wall.
Oh man, I'm super excited for this show. I think it's gonna be really, really good. And I
Yeah.
feel like it also will kind of test the waters in terms of possibly getting a Robert's Rebellion show down the road. Or movie. Who knows? Right?
I don't know if they'll give it to us. I don't know if they'll give it to us. You I can see them only if they skip the tourney at Heron Hall so they don't have to tell us what happened in any of those details.
Okay.
Because it's such an important tournament that of course starts Robert's Rebellion, but of course we don't know the main points of it because somebody hasn't finished writing those books.
Good old Germ, how you said. Okay, so those of you that don't know Germ, if you're in the fandom, you know Germ is it's George R. R. Martin. But for those of you
Yeah.
that don't know, Germ is George R. R. Martin. Did I say? I don't know if we mentioned it, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it's gonna start production this June.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So I know we're waiting for the producers to reach out to us so we can pick our roles for.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm listen. I'm down to be anyone, really. I don't care, dude. At this point, just throw me in a tent and I'll throw me to Flea Bottom. I'll go party with I'll go party hard with people at Flea Bottom.
Hey, I just want to be Steely Pate, and when you read it, you know who Steely Pate is. I'll shave my. No, let me keep my hair, but I just gotta get my arms straight, and I could be a blacksmith. I can be a blacksmith. Give me
I'll
2
shave
months in the
my head.
gym.
It's
You
been a
say,
while since I've shaved my head. Usually it was more back when I was living in Puerto Rico, but uh, I'll do it again as long as it's not during winter season. You know,
yeah,
get too cold. But yeah, June is going to be huge because even though we haven't gotten yet an announcement for House of the Dragon season 2 premiere, the CEO for HBO a few weeks ago did announce that even though they are doing shoot or reshoots right now, it doesn't mean that it's going to push back the premiere for the show. That it's still going to be releasing early summer. So, what's early summer? Should be June. So, I think so, right?
yeah. Early summer is June, really the end of
June.
May. But I know if it was a May, they would have told us a date by now. So I'm gonna hope June, early July.
Yeah, yeah, true. Because so it would be what May 21st. It would be like the beginning of
You
summer.
pull you pull that day right off the top of your head. It's like May 21st. I'm like, all right, that
It's because
sounds right.
I really feel like everything happens on the 21st when it comes to those changes of the season. So in my mind, everything starts the 21st. Summer starts the 21st. Winter starts the 21st. Fall starts the 21st.
You said it so confidently. I'm not gonna doubt you. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I agree now. Yes.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, hopefully we do get it this summer, early summer. Like they keep saying early summer, but I have a feeling it might be. I can see it being pushed back to like August or something.
You think so?
I can see it happening because they're still doing reshoots, so that means they still have some scenes that they may want to edit in there, and if they have to do any touch ups or try to get any of these actors back that may be working on other projects, I can see it probably being pushed out a little later. But I'm just hoping season 3 will not take as long at this point.
Well, definitely. Even though House of the Dragon season 2 didn't wasn't affected, you know, by the strikes and all of that, because they were able to keep recording and doing, you know, as normal,
Yeah,
because they aren't part of the same uh what's it called,
uh,
association,
union. Yeah,
union. um so that's why House of the Dragon is going to come out as regular. So I'm hoping that they have used that time to work already on season 3. Actually, no, let me. I'm sure that I had seen a post that said that George got together with Ryan Condal and they
mm,
already mapped out seasons 3 and 4.
Well, yeah, I mean that might be our last season for then. I don't see it going too far past that.
Yeah, well, the reality is that as we know, Dance of the Dragons didn't last a whole bunch of chapters.
Mm.
So because that is one thing I did read, because that's why I think that I will read a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms before the show comes out, and it's because for House of the Dragon I did the same thing. I read Fire and Blood, and yeah, House of the Dragon came out, and I was ready.
But you know what? It's almost. Do you think it almost be better for you to go in unspoiled?
Yeah, well, it
Would it
could
be more
be.
fun?
Yeah, I think it would be more fun, especially since I'm someone who found out about A Song of Ice and Fire through Game of Thrones
Yeah.
after, maybe around, I think it was like around season 6. So I was a huge fan by then. And Game of Thrones is, like I've mentioned before, was what introduced me into A Song of Ice and Fire. So maybe I can watch, yeah, maybe I can watch a Night of the Seven Kingdoms blindly and just give it to me however you want to. I won't make me mad because I haven't read it.
Yeah, maybe that first season. I can see if you watch that first season, you might be a little antsy to read it after that. You're like, well, I gotta know what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I'm very intrigued by the Blackfires and all of that, so
Mm.
that might push me ultimately to reading it.
I can see that, and yeah, I'm really hoping that they do shoehorn in some more Blackfire things in that first season of the Hedge Knight, because I think that that'll only benefit the story, because I know George kind of wrote things backwards. Like I listened to another thing on the interweb, and they were talking about uh, a different idea of how he had the story going with some characters who are in the first, who are going to be in the first season of the Hedge Knight, and how he kind of retconned it a little bit, but those characters are still available. I don't want to spoil too many things.
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
want to. Okay, I
okay.
know I was talking a little vaguely there,
No,
but
no, 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 no. You'll be good, really, because again, I still got a long way. I still got um, all the other books, Feast for Crows, and what is it? Dance
a
with
dance with
Dragons,
dragon.
and Storm of Swords.
Yeah, Storm. Oh my God, Storm. Now I want to reread. Now I want to reread.
Is that your
But I'm
favorite?
if I had to rank them, my rankings can change anytime I want them to.
Well,
But
let me just tell you, I want to do a ranking at some point. So save your
yeah,
ranking, but you can tell me if that one is your favorite or not. That's.
Storm.
Mhm.
Storm was my favorite the first time I read it, but not the second time I read it. But it's still top two. It's still
Okay.
top two.
Oh, say no more. It hypes me up. Um, so talking about House of the Dragon season 2, um, we never got to. Obviously, the podcast wasn't up by the whenever the trailer came out. Even though I was dying to be out already, so we could literally just go out and kind of dissect the trailer and whatnot. And maybe it's something we can do, whatever, if we're late. At the end of the day, it's a Song of Ice, it's Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon content. It's gonna be
Yeah,
good. So maybe we can do it at some point. It'll be probably, we can even make it just that episode for the trailer. That's it. It'll be kind of short.
yeah.
Um, but there is a lot of speculations and people posting about Nettles and Daron. If it was for me, obviously I would have both. Give me everyone that's part of the story, of course. But if I have to choose, because this was a post, I made a video about it. You probably
I
saw it as
remember.
well.
I remember. I
If
saw the video.
if we have to choose between Nettles and Daron, man, you know who we going with. It's Nettles. I mean, you guys already know House of freaking Nettles, but in my case, I'm going with Nettles, and and that kind of leads me a little bit into a question that I've been meaning to ask you: is Nettles one of your favorite characters in A Song of Ice and Fire in general?
Yes, I'll answer both questions to who I would want and favorite characters. Nettles is one of my favorite characters in the whole series of all the lore. Shoot, one day we can even do like a who are our top three or so favorite characters. I might now I feel like I gotta make that video now. I think I did it a long time ago, but yes, Nettles is in
It's
one of my
always
top
good.
characters.
Good, good, good. I mean, those. Listen, those videos of my top such and such are always good. They're always fun, and who cares if they change weekly? Because
Daily.
exactly, and it's funny because when I made that video, the one for Daron and Nettles, someone put. They came in kind of hot, but ultimately, which is funny because we talked about it in the last episode of people that come in hot in the comments, and then you talk to them and they turn out to be nice. Um, but someone came in hot and tells me, "Oh, I don't get." I'm paraphrasing right now, but I don't get
Yeah.
what the hype around Nettles is really. And I was like, "Okay, fine. Like that is the awesome thing about the world that George created. The awesome thing about A Song of Ice and Fire is the fact that there are so many characters that we can choose from. And obviously this translates as well
Yeah.
to Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and all the other shows that will come out. um, there are so many awesome characters that we can choose from that you don't really need to understand why someone loves X or Y character. Like, to me, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the George in me that is, to me, every character is freaking awesome. To me, that question of my favorite characters is always so damn hard because I legitimately love all of these characters in some way. Uh, I really do.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to understand why the hype around a certain character, and especially when it comes to Nettles. And this is what I told this person, and just kind of advocating, somewhat for Nettles. When it comes to Nettles, there is so much that comes with her character. There is so much mystery behind her character. Dragon Bond, where did she come from? Is it magic or is it actually like full on bond between this non Targaryen or Valyrian descent? Because at that point, um, nobody knows about dragon bonds and dragon lore
Yeah.
to the
All that.
T. Not even George, I'd say.
George's probably still figuring out himself. That's why he left himself so much wiggle room in terms of Dragon Bond. But you know what? I want to be a little bit of a meanie pants to that to the person that left that comment. They don't about them not understanding the hype of the character, and to write that is to basically say I don't understand why you all are excited about that character, and I don't like how that sounds because if you want to be excited about a character or somebody else, or if a whole fandom is excited about a character, why does it matter that you don't understand it? Why aren't you just happy that so many people are excited to see a character on the screen? Heck, if you were excited to see Aegon the Second for some reason on the screen, if that was you read Fire and Blood, and that was your favorite character, and you're excited to see him, I won't look at you and go, "Oh my gosh, you wanted to see them on the screen." You want to see one of your favorite fictional characters on the screen. Doesn't matter. Just be happy to see it. I'm happy that everyone gets a chance to see their favorite character. That's a great thing.
Absolutely, totally, dude. Um, that's you've said it much better than I did, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people get too carried away uh, when it comes to what we like, what we
Yeah.
love, and all of that. It literally just as we speak, I've got a video right now about True Detective season 4. I don't know if you were watching that. I just finished it this last weekend, the True Detective Night Country, and
Oh, no, hey, no spoilers. I'm on episode 5.
no spoilers here, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed it. I've never watched the other seasons, and I keep hearing that season 1 is one of the best things ever made. But some people have already kind of gone, kind of crazy in the comment sections. in the comment section because I said that True Detective season 4 is really damn good, and that people are kind of mad, the mostly the dude bros of season 1 because they announced today that season 5 has been greenlit with Isa Lopez again, the director.
Hmm.
So you know how it is. So to me, it's really crazy how some people react
Yeah.
nowadays. It's almost like they get so used to typing stuff and not putting and I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. I don't even have the words for it really because it just makes me a little bit mad.
Yeah, I understand. I know why they're mad, but I would like them either because they don't need to explain why they didn't like something because I've seen things that were critically acclaimed, but I didn't like them, but I still knew they were good. Like you not liking something, no matter what your particular reason is, because I think we know what their reason was,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't. Is it bad though? Is it bad? That's always the question for me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got that out of the way. Uh, Nettles, of course, obviously we all know Nettles was going to be one of your favorite characters in
Yes.
A Song of Ice
Yes.
and Fire, and I can't wait to maybe talk about her at some point about where she went, what happened to her, just theories at this point because nobody freaking knows about what happened with Nettles. What is she doing? How does she like manage to actually tame or bond with sheep stealer? Of course, yeah, she would bring the sheeps and feed them, but is that really all?
Well, do you want my almost kind of spoiler for what I think happened to Nettles? My
Yeah,
head canon.
yeah. Well, spoilers for other people, right? 'Cause
Yeah. I guess it's not really a spoiler because we don't know if it happened. It's just my head canon. But I guess spoilers if you didn't read Fire and Blood.
drop it.
I truly believe that because we know she was with Damon and she left because Rhaenyra go a little cray cray and says all the dragon seeds got to be put in the ground. So, and then Damon has his epic fight with Damon and Aemon. That's a lot of names that sound similar. Epic fight over the God's Eye, and I truly believe that she doubled back and helped in that fight. And I know there were people around that say they saw kind of what happened, but could they truly see if it was that much smoke or clouds? What time of day was it? Was it a mist coming off that huge lake? Could they really tell there were three dragons if they were probably also trying to run away because there are dragons fighting?
Dude,
So
I actually I had never heard that theory. Just know that I've got that on the clip. I've saved it just so you, just so you have it. Just so you have it. But yeah, I had never heard that theory. That's actually a pretty cool, a good one, really. There's so many awesome theories, in Fire and Blood, and more specifically, the Dance of the Dragons chapters. Um, that man we definitely just need an episode or more than one episode to talk about all of them. um
mm,
there's even that theory about her, or a lot of people seem to think that she is actually some, was it like a children of the forest or something magical?
yeah, some people do have that theory that she's actually the I can't remember who one of the children from the television show with Bran meets. I can't remember her name or his name. I don't know if they have genders, Children of the Forest. But wow, I can't.
Wait, are
It
you talking about, you're not talking
that
about
were
the
in the
girl and
cave.
okay, but you're talking about the children of the forest right now.
Yeah, the Children of the Forest that were
Okay,
in the
okay.
cave with Bran. I think it was like season 6.
Six,
But,
yeah, I think so.
yeah, they're saying that could have been Nettles because she talks about, especially in the book, that she was out in the world traveling, and so she could have been there. She could have pretended to be a dragon rider, but who knows? I don't believe in that theory. But I'm not gonna sit here and say any theory is incorrect. You know,
Yeah, I actually think it would be really really cool, the magical aspects of, not that she's a children of the forest,
Mm,
more of the magical side of things. Like all of a sudden she's doing whatever type of magic that got her, to do X and Y, um, or in this case, get the dragon and all that. But I'm good with anything really. Like, there's
yeah,
all of the theories are freaking awesome. If they don't happen, they don't happen. But it's awesome to theorize about them.
yeah.
Now that House of the Dragon season 2 is right around the corner, are you ready for that first episode? You see already the first episode, the name for it?
Yeah. Well, what was it? Son for a son.
A son for a
Oh my.
son. I'm
Oh my
not ready.
gosh.
I'm not ready. I told my wife already. I was like, "Hey, uh just get ready because that episode is probably one of the worst things you've ever watched on television." And I'm
That's
not and I'm not I wish I was joking.
it's gonna hurt to watch that. And I'm gonna be looking at my wife while we watch it, like I don't know if she's ready because she hates being surprised on anything. Like we were watching season 1, and she'd be like, "All right, tell me." I can't remember which character death it was, but she was like, "Tell me if they died. Tell me if they died." Oh, it was Aemon when he fought Luke over at Storm's End. And she was like, "Tell me what happened right now," and I didn't tell her, so she looked it up real quick before it happened. She's like, I can't handle it emotionally. I need to know."
Oh man. Please don't tell me she knows, like,
I'm doing my best to keeping her unspoiled, so
okay.
she definitely doesn't know what that first episode means.
Okay, okay. Man, that's it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to
Mm.
watch that first episode of House of the Dragon, season 2. Now that we're talking about, in general, projects that are coming out that will be starting production here soon and whatnot, what are some of the future projects that you would love to see, or if it's only one right now, then fine. If it's like me and give me everything, then great. But yeah, what's one that you would love to see? Because I got
Now
mine,
is it
but
now is it anything I want to see or just the rumored projects?
let's go with the ones that have been either rumored, that are pretty close to being greenlit,
Hmm.
or as far as the Jon Snow show, which I would love to see the Jon Snow show. And I know you two, I think we've talked about it. Um, and you've made quite a few awesome videos about it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I would say I would have loved to see the Jon Snow show, but every year that passes, I'm like, I don't know if they want to keep playing those characters anymore. But so if I'm picking one right now today, it would be the Corlys Velaryon show, the Nine Voyages. That would be the show I would want to see greenlit, especially if they're going to animate it. And that way, we can even have the Steve Toussaint that plays Corlys. He can keep playing the character. You might as well just cast him as the voice actor.
yep, yep.
He,
Well, I'm right there with you. I would love that. That was actually my pick. Corliss's Nine Voyages. I think that show would go so damn hard, and like you said, it seems like they will be doing it animated. I think George said that they actually are transitioning into doing that project animated, which, man, the way animation is right now, that is going to be really good.
get Mappa Studios, tell them to take a break from Jujutsu Kaisen and tell them this is their new project. Give them this.
Dude, I need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't watched it. I can see your face already. Oh, damn, you're taking a sip already, man. Don't do me like that. But no,
Go. Hey, just saying, cut this off now. Go at least watch the first 2 episodes, so you know the hype. You got to know the hype.
I've heard really really good things about it. Um, Actually, I was told. Okay, I'm a I'm a basic bitch when it comes to anime. I love Pokemon, and I didn't even watch all of it. stayed behind quite a bit because they just lost me. I was never like I never understood where to go to be up to date with the storylines.
That's too much story.
The other thing that I have not missed is Dragon Ball. That's why I'm like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I'm right there. I've watched the movies, the latest one that came out. I watched it, and people in my family who are big Dragon Ball, like all my family, a lot of people in my family, we geek out about Dragon Ball. We grew up with Dragon Ball and Pokemon, and they told me that Jujutsu Kaisen is not really the same thing, but it gives the kind of like the vibe a lot of times. I'm sure it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's what they
I
said.
mean, I'm not sure about that being the same vibe. I
Oh, really?
I think they're doing different things between Dragon Ball and Jujutsu Kaisen, man. That
Well,
I
they.
would like to hear them talk and tell me what similarity.
But is the story like very deep or something? Because they were talking about maybe what they meant more was the battle style or like the fighting
Yeah,
styles and stuff. Um, I feel like
I
that
can
might
see.
have been more like in the fighting aspects of things, not really the story.
I'm not gonna lie. In Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't understand half of how their power system is structured. Like I am so confused and lost, and I'm like, I've had to watch videos on TikTok just for somebody to explain what's happening, so I can go back and go, oh, okay, I'm back in. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
well, I'll see whenever I get around to watching that one. I'll definitely you'll be my guide, man. Don't
now
don't
if you
don't don't leave me alone.
Now, if you watch those first two seasons and you completely understand how the power system works, more kudos to you. I'll be like, wow, you are a beast. You are a beast.
Uh, but yeah, cordless. We kind of went away a little bit there, but with the anime in us. But uh, cordlesses, man. I feel like if they go the route of, did you watch Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix? I think I
I didn't
asked
finish.
you.
Yeah, no, I didn't finish it. I didn't
Oh, you
finish it.
didn't finish it? Oh,
No, it's on
okay.
the list.
Okay, it's really, really good. And George actually posted something about it. Actually, because of George, George is the reason why I found out about Blue Eye Samurai. Um, Sorry, because he was talking about when it came out that he benched it all with his wife and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that the animation was great and whatnot. And we watched it a couple weeks ago, and yeah, definitely, dude. The animation is really, really good, and I would not be surprised if Germ, as of now, he's like, he's been texting them or contacting them to get them to work with the A Song of Ice and Fire animation or animated movies or shows, however they want to go, uh,
Yeah,
and that would be
I can
really
definitely.
good.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, somebody of his influence, if he's like, "Hey, I want that studio to animate this," they depending on how busy they are, they can probably move some things for a little Song of Ice and Fire property.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, dude.
Mm.
A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones universe. It has to be. I would love to look that up, really, but it has to be one of the most lucrative uh, IPs right now. And we're talking about a franchise that it's so young in the pop culture, uh, sphere world.
Yeah,
Obviously, A
I
Song of Ice and Fire has been around for a while, but you know,
in terms of pop culture, 2011 changed everything, and I think shout out to House of the Dragon because without it, I think the franchise was gonna be in desperate need for revitalization. But House of the Dragon really kind of saved it and brought it back. And even the people who just knew they would never watch another Game of Thrones show ever again, like based on the numbers, I think they came back and watched some of it at least.
do you really believe that statement? Do you
That's what
actually
they.
think? Do you actually think that there were people that would have not watched anything Game of Thrones? Even let's say it would have been Blood Moon which we've seen the pictures and all of that, and it's
Yeah.
kind of wild. I mean, the concept of it was cool, but then they started dropping the story, and it gets into like some weird ass decisions when it comes to characters and all of that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Thank God you guys canceled that. Please do it with more, more commitment when
Yeah,
it,
for sure.
and using your mind a little bit more. But anyways, do you really think? Do you believe that statement that nobody? There's a lot of people that would have not watched anything Game of
No,
Thrones.
I think that's what they said to sound cool, that they weren't going to watch any more Game of Thrones after that season 8 finale. But even if Blood Moon would have came out, they would have been there. And based on what we know about it, it probably wouldn't have been the best show. And that's the thing, the standard of Game of Thrones, even at its worst, it's still good. Like season 8 was good. Blood Moon would have been good television. It just wouldn't have been the greatness that we were used to. That they kind of put in our face. Like, I'm used to that greatness for 4 seasons, but I think House of the Dragon was able to recapture a lot of those things we enjoyed about the series, even on a smaller scale, because they didn't have to span all of Westeros, then jump to Essos. Most of the things happen in one city and a couple of other places, so that made that easier for them. So they were going to come back. They were going to come back.
I think so too. I really do. I think the biggest battle for Game of Thrones fans that were saying that they would not watch, anything Game of Thrones related ever again. Their biggest battle is more centered around D&D, David Benioff and DB Wise. So as long as you would tell them, hey, D&D, it's like House of the Dragon, they did it super fast. It's like, we got a new showrunner. It's Ryan Condal, and George is like right there with him.
But you know what? They still said they weren't going to come back. But some people aren't as deep in it to know that it's different people writing the show, different people who are producing it. All they hear is, "Oh, this is a Game of Thrones spinoff, and it didn't end nice, so I'm not going to want to watch it anymore." Even though we all know they secretly watched it because apparently everyone did.
Exactly. That when you look at the numbers, most definitely a lot of the people that said that they weren't going to watch Game of Thrones, anything Game of Thrones related, they were there every Sunday watching.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I don't really believe that statement. That's more, yeah, that's wishful thinking or wishful talking or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, that's
um yeah, what were you gonna say?
I just say. That's just what they tell people.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so as well. um so another project that's coming around, and I know we're kind of uh, you know, short on time now, but
Yeah.
it's Aegon's Conquest. That is something that is going to be very, very interesting. Are you excited for that one? I'm sure you are, but I just gotta ask.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to name. But yeah, I'm definitely I'm not as excited about it because I don't think the conquest is the most interesting story. But I mean, hey, I'm happy that we get to see Balerion, the Black Dread, come onto the screen. We get to see Aegon and his sister wives win every battle except one where they only kind of tie. Well, they leave, but
Yeah.
so I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see how especially how they bring up the prophecy that they introduced in House of the Dragon season 1.
hmm that is my second show in line for like the ones I'm most looking forward to from the ones
Mhm.
they've kind of announced. Um, I am very, very interested in that show as well. Because, like you said, Balerion, the biggest dragon ever to fly Westeros, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
To see Meraxes with Rhaenys, and young Vagar, because now we got Nanny Vagar, but to get to see young Vagar and an Aegon's Conquest show or movie, it's
Hmm.
it's gonna be really, really good. There is something we can talk about this, and we can talk about it in the next episode. We can start with Aegon's Conquest next time and go
Yeah.
from there. Uh, because there are some things that have been happening in regards to decisions they made in House of the Dragon season one that could potentially affect what happens in Aegon's Conquest and the way they look, which will stir up a few of you. Well, I won't say you because that means you're listening to this and you're a fan of this, and I don't know if I want that type of fans around. I don't know. What do you think in terms of time? I think it might be
Wait,
kind of pushed
probably
this.
next time. Yeah,
Yeah. I think
be all
we're
day talking about that.
yeah, we're kind of behind right now. So I think there is something very, very, I feel funny. I feel like it's pretty funny. The Reddit's thing. I feel like I'll leave that for the next episode. There are some very wild posts, as we all know, in Reddit. Those of you that go around Reddit, do you go around Reddit?
Yeah, I dabble over there a little bit just to see what's going on.
That's me too. But every once in a while, you'll find some very, very wild things and funny things. And there are three. I'm going to start with three, not now, but in the next episode that we get together, I'm going to
Mm.
mark this down because I would love to put this in the next episode because I feel like it's really, really funny. And people will really have a good time with this because it's really weird questions in regards to A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones too, because some of these characters and places are in Game of Thrones.
Hey,
So,
sometimes the weird questions are the fun questions. So
oh, yeah, most definitely.
yeah.
Well, do you have anything else right now you would love to kind of put in there?
Just say thank you everybody that made it this far in. Thank you all for watching. The more you like this podcast, share it. Uh, I know I'll appreciate it, and I know Ruben would appreciate it.
That's right. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Mark. I had an awesome time with you. I hope that this just keeps on going. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and most definitely on TikTok, Instagram, because a lot of clips from each episode drop there as well. And I've been putting quite a bit of effort into them.
Yes.
Getting better, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of awesome things that will be coming down the road with other shows, movies, projects in general, with Mark, with other people. So stick around. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Until now, VALAR MORGHULIS, my friends.